sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, let's talk a little bit about Danny Garcia and who he could fight next. His next fight was promised to be on pay-per-view. Let's talk a little bit about it. We back Goodfella Sports TV. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out our welterweight playlist for more videos like this. Want to make a donation to the channel? That information, PayPal, Cash App is in the description. Best way to donate for your boy is to share the video. All right, so Danny Garcia next fight. He was promised a fight with Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. All right, that's why he fought a southpaw in Redkach. So, waiting on what happened with Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. There is talks that Floyd could come back and fight Manny Pacquiao as soon as May, which I don't see Floyd jumping in the ring cold turkey and fighting Pacquiao. But with Khabib saying that he wants to fight Floyd standing up for 11 rounds, and then the last round will be basically MMA rules. I'm not sure if that throws a monkey wrench in Floyd plans for his September fight date, that he may be coming back in. And if that's the case, then does Pacquiao still take the risk of fighting Errol Spence? It's the question, does he take a lot of risks? And if he takes a lot of risks, is it Manny Pacquiao, then does he consider, Mikey Garcia, or does he consider Danny Garcia after that performance last night? So a lot of things in the air. It was put to me last night that Mikey Garcia is still in the loop for Manny Pacquiao. You heard him, Robert Garcia and him on the Boxing Voice last week. And Mikey is still talking with Al, so him and Al is on good speaking terms. Danny Garcia is still in the Manny Pacquiao running. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence is in the Manny Pacquiao running. Floyd Mayweather obviously is still the option. So a lot of people waiting on to see what Floyd do, is believe that Floyd would fight Conor McGregor next. But we got to see what happens with that. But if Floyd get out the way, then, you may see a situation where Manny Pacquiao may take the risk with Errol Spence. I know Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, they were in talks to fight each other. So not sure exactly where that goes, or has it, hit a stumbling block because of Errol Spence's health, or maybe something the sparring ain't look good, or whatever. Maybe Pacquiao want more money. Maybe Errol want a certain amount of testing. Don't know, but they still could be in talks. So that will leave Danny Garcia with really the only option being Mikey Garcia. Now, I woke up this morning to look at Twitter, and Sergio Mora was saying he, former boxer, fought, I think he was a contender, fought Danny Jacobs, and he's a commentator over at DAZN. He said that, for Danny Garcia, Mikey would be a better style, but the first thing that has to happen is that Mikey has to get past Jesse Vargas February 29th. Okay, but I agree. Mikey and Danny makes more sense. So I don't know if that can happen down the line. But if Errol and Manny fight in May or June is what they saying, and then Mikey Garcia and Danny fight next, that's probably gonna be sometime in the fall or the end of the summer. So you're probably looking at the earliest, maybe August, maybe the latest December. So we know both of these guys, and the norm is fighters to fight once or twice a year. So they might come back as far as the fall package, or usually they don't put too many summer blockbusters on. You get really one big summer fight, in their opinion. It's subjective, depending on if people think it's a big summer fight. So the big summer fight might end up being, Danny Garcia. Manny and Errol. They could push it back to June or July. So we have to see. But April and May seem to be pretty much big months already. Lopez and Lomachenko supposed to be going down in May. I'll talk about Sean Porter later. Heard he may be coming back in that April. I got an opponent name on that. So, Floyd could be coming back in May. So I don't think they would do Floyd, Manny. Floyd and McGregor, Canelo and Murat. Well, Canelo won't be fighting. If he fight Murat, I don't think he fight that day. But Loma and Tio, and then Errol and Pacquiao that same month. So we'll see how it kind of lay down. And usually PBC is the last minute. So if they gonna get it on Earl and Manny gonna get it on, let's say May, you ain't gonna know until like end of March, middle of March at the earliest. So we'll see where that goes. But it seems that Manny Pacquiao, Earl, they may be engaged. I know they engaged in talks. So we'll see if they can come out with something. But Danny was promised a big fight. Now it's put to me that, it got to the point where that somebody I was talking to thought that they would put Danny and send him over to fight Crawford in the summertime and let ESPN handle that and pay the money. But I heard that ain't no option. So I heard that Danny, just don't want that fight with Crawford. And Al ain't gonna force nobody to do nothing. He don't force his fighters to fight each other for the most part. There probably are exceptions to that rule. And he definitely not gonna force his fighter to go across the street, especially when Jamal Charlo already turned down $7 million to fight Demetrius Andrade, anywhere from 10 to 12 to turn down Canelo, and he said he wanted 20. They wanted 15 or 20 to fight Canelo Alvarez. So at the end of the day, Danny Garcia not going to do that. But Danny Garcia, he didn't call out Bud last night. It doesn't surprise me. Like I said before, I'm tired of it. People keep saying, "Oh, these dudes not scared. It's business." It ain't business, bro. It ain't business. If the money right, you never got a chance to be on pay-per-view. If the money right, how's that business? You know what I'm saying? You got dudes turning down 7 times, 10 times more than they ever made and asking for 20 times what they made. And they going to turn around and fight for $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million. Like, that makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense to me, dude. It's nothing but being a coward. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but being scared. It's nothing but being embarrassed. Because Danny Garcia, with the narrative is this. It's that, I really never lost the fight. I got robbed versus Keith Thurman. I got robbed versus Sean Porter. I really could be undefeated. When people forget, he should have lost to Theo Payne. He should have lost to, he also should have lost to, who am I thinking about? Lamont Peterson, Mauricio Herrera, and he lost to Keith Thurman. Ain't no two ways around that. He lost to Keith Thurman, and he lost to Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? But people want to act like, he undefeated. But if you fight Bud, it's going to be a clear loss. And I'm going to get to Sean Porter if I don't drop. I might drop the Sean Porter video first. I always don't do them in order. But like I said before, Danny Garcia can go on pay-per-view and fight Terrence Crawford for a belt. Come on, name me last time that back in the old school days, other than Riddick Bowe dropping his belt in the trash can, that dude's one fight for them. A dude can have a belt opportunity and he passes it up after talking a ton of cash crap about the fighter. His daddy calling the fighter a nappy-headed N-word. I mean, Danny and knock him out. Danny said he'd knock him out. They talk all this trash about Terrence Crawford, but won't fight him. Crawford was fighting and the fight was born. The whole fight card was born. But he'd rather fight Mikey Garcia if Mikey Garcia get past Jesse Vargas. He'd rather move up in weight. And we know after last night, Danny Garcia not moving up to 54 pounds. He ain't got them skills. He ain't got the power. He looked terrible last night, especially down the stretch. But all that junkie talk, and now he can go over there and fight Terrence Crawford. He can negotiate that same $5.5 million, if not more, for Danny Garcia for the Terrence Crawford fight and get paid. But you know what it is? It's the fear of getting his entire back end whooped and it not being close. This ain't gonna be Herrera. I believe Crawford may be the first guy that can stop Danny Garcia. And these dudes talk about the Kavaliauskas fight like Kavaliauskas didn't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford could have easily did what Danny Garcia did last night and put on a boring performance. But don't worry, I'm going to get to Sean Porter comments real soon, quick and hurry. But instead of, doing the right thing and going over to ESPN, getting the bag and being on pay-per-view, he got a hope and wish on Mikey Garcia. He got a hope and wish if Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao don't fight each other. And he refused to fight Sean Porter. Let me put that out there too. He refused to rematch Sean Porter. Now Sean Porter going to fight for an interim belt while you sitting here being the WBC silver champion. So where did that leave him? If Sean Porter fight for the interim title, like he says in May, if he fights for the interim title, then where does that leave Danny Garcia be on the silver champion? He sound like Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got the interim title, you the mandatory. So Danny Garcia, what is he doing? So he fight Mikey Garcia. You know, it's Puerto Rican. Well, Puerto Rican people don't accept him, but it's a Puerto Rican versus Mexican, Puerto Rican American versus Mexican American. It's a solid fight, but I'm not paying pay-per-view for it. Not especially if Mikey Garcia don't look good versus Jesse Vargas. I ain't paying for it, but you know, that's his prerogative. He gonna throw something together. He may be paid, you know, money for not getting a pay-per-view fight, but he about to throw some shit together. He don't want to fight Shine. He don't want to fight Terrence. You know, he didn't want to fight Yugas. He didn't want to fight Lipinets. He didn't want to fight a lot of guys. And it's to the point where instead of fighting some of these guys, he'd rather move up to 154 pounds. And I tell you, Danny Garcia at 54 pounds is food. You know, he maybe can beat Danny Garcia. I mean, he maybe can beat Kell Brook, but I'm not 100% sure that he can beat Austin Trout at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 100% sure he could beat Austin Trout. He could beat Liam Smith. He probably could beat Liam Williams. But who he really beating at 154 pounds? He ain't beating Castanos. He ain't beating Lara. He ain't beating Rosario. He ain't beating Lubin. He ain't beating Charlo. He ain't beating Hurd. So if he go to 154 pounds, who Danny Garcia beating? You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even stop Ivan Redkach last night. He's scared to fight Terrence Crawford. Only guy he probably can beat at 54 is Kell Brook. He may even struggle with Jeff Horn, to be honest. He may real life struggle with Jeff Horn at 154 pounds. That's a dude that's coming down from 160 to 54 to fight Costa Tszyu and Tim Tszyu soon. Not sure if they got a full agreement on that. But, you know, this Danny Garcia talking about moving up in weight instead of fight for a title at his weight class. I understand he was drained to weight. I understand that he hadn't fought since last April. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he fooled up there, man. He ain't winning no title up there. It's no way. He not going to have a Jaime Munguia type of opponent in Saddam Ali. That ain't going to happen because it ain't none of them. That division is turned. He not going to beat Teixeira. He can't beat Castanos. He can't beat a lot of guys they ain't heard of. He couldn't beat a Jamonte Clark. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't beat he couldn't beat the Trayvon Mazion guy. That's with Golden Boy, 6'2", 6'3". You know, but it is what it is. If Danny Garcia want to live in his bubble, he want to believe he can move up in weight, I'll gladly happy to see Danny Garcia get taxed up there and get stopped, because that's what's going to happen. He may not 100% beat Kell Brook, and Kell Brook is broke down at this point in his career. He not beating Willie Nelson. He not beating Tony Harrison. He not beating Julian Williams. Who is he beating up there? And then he don't have enough star power to move up there and garnish catchweights like he Floyd Mayweather or like he Canelo Alvarez. So my whole point to him is, and I said this a year ago, dude, if you don't want to compete, about a year ago you was ducking Errol. Now you don't want to fight Shine. Now you talking about fighting Keith Thurman again. Nobody care about that fight. That ship is sank again. If you don't want to compete and fight for championship, just go ahead and retire. Just retire. You know what I'm saying? You got enough money. You didn't tie your business, your money up into real estate, and you an entrepreneur. Just retire from the sport of boxing. If you don't want to fight for titles and you willing to go up to another weight class where you don't have a chance at winning that, in my humble opinion, I could be wrong, but I think most people agree with me, instead of fighting for a world championship belt, just retire. Because a year ago, you didn't want to fight Errol Spence. You don't want to rematch Sean Porter, right? For the WBC mandatory. You're talking about fighting Keith Thurman. He old and broke up. Nobody want to see that. Mikey Garcia did want to fight you before this fight. Maybe he fight you now, but they ain't a fight that people interested in unless Mikey go out there and probably stop Jesse Vargas. You don't want to fight Terrence Crawford for a belt. You know, all of a sudden you want to fight Manny and Errol Spence. You know, it is what it is. If you can't get that fight, just retire and get out the sport, man. That's my humble opinion on it. But, quick recap. Danny didn't call out Crawford last night. He looking, possible opponents, Mikey, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao. They promised him a pay-per-view fight, his next fight. So I don't know where that's going to come from. They not sent him over to fight Terrence Crawford as of right now. He looked terrible at 154 pounds last night. At 47, I don't think he's going to look good at 54. And he said if he don't get a big fight next, he'll move up there. So let me know what you think about the video. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, or video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal, that's in the description. Appreciate everybody who do donate to the channel. Much love and respect, man. And let me know what you guys thought about Garcia's performance last night, what you think about his potential next falls, what you think about him going to 54, what you think about him not wanting to fight Crawford, what you think about him fighting Mikey Garcia or Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.